Hey everybody, it's Trinity from Moonstone Mystics. I'm giggling because I just tried to shoot a video because I was trying to be a dork to sing a Christmas song and then forgot the lyrics. So it's like, okay, well, we'll just keep our day job. How about that? How are you doing? I hope that this holiday season is seeing blessing after blessing for you, full of peace and serenity, which are the biggest blessings of all, full of family, which is sometimes easier said than done to deal with. However, when we can get over ourselves, right? Put our differences aside, live by the traditions where we don't bring up politics or religion. Yeah, usually things go okay. So, anyway, if you have to see people on the 25th, don't bring up politics and religion, you know? Or leave the room if somebody starts bringing it. Okay, so I've got Squirrel Spirit, believe in yourself. And I've got Dragonfly Spirit, truth transcends illusion. Okay, all right. Okay, this actually confirms. Let's go ahead and do that. Um, Interesting. Okay, I guess I'm supposed to pull the divination board too. All right, all right. I'm hearing step 6 and 7, so 12-step tarot. All right. Let's go ahead and get this party started here. If you haven't seen my divination board yet, this is something that I invented with my guides because I'm a 12-stepper and kind of an AA nerd. But here is my divination board. It's got 12 little pieces of the pie. Each one is a step. This is step 1 all the way to step 12. You can also use the astrological houses, the zodiac signs, whatever you see fit. It's kind of a multi-purpose divination tool. So if you're interested in something, I'll go ahead and link my email in the description, and you can email me. I usually sell these for $70, and that includes the shipping. So, but I hand make all of them. All right. Okay. So I have absolutely nothing in the 10th house, the 11th house, and the 3rd house, which tells me that you have turned it over to a higher power and you are doing the thing. There's really nothing you need to be working on in those 3 categories. You've been doing a 10th step. You've been turning it over to your higher power as you understand it. And you have been praying and meditating every day. So yay! Good for you. What I want to then turn to is looking at some of the charms in here. Oh. Interesting. Okay. So I have got in the second, I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a little heart with angel wings. That's in the second step. And then I see another thing. Okay, and then this little thing, and can you see it? I don't know if you can or not. Maybe there we go. All right. So it's a little house with a heart. And I actually can't read what it says on there. However, the song that's coming to me is Birdhouse in Your Soul. I think by They Might Be Giants. So there may be a message in the lyrics there for you. Go ahead and check it out. Now, the other thing that I have in the second house is a tiny little cord. So, since the other two are, images of hearts, and then we've got a cord, it looks like you're kind of being influenced by a previous relationship. That may be time to understand and have faith that your higher power can relieve you of that insanity, whatever little remnants are left. So how do I do that? So that is going to be, here. And I've got, in the first house, I've got this purple mermaid tail. You can see that? And then I've got an airplane charm right in between steps 4 and 5. And I was just going to say that. How we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. I know a lot of people are like, ooh, cord cutting. And yes, in a way, these cords need to be dissolved and disintegrated. I don't like cord cutting because that seems to influence the other person to try and text back. And so when I have someone who's coming to me for services, I dissolve the hook that's within them and then dissolve it halfway through. If you know how to do that cord cutting thing, you can easily transfer that knowledge base that you have into dissolving cords. And that actually helps reduce bounce back. And I personally think it's actually a lot more gentle and ethical to do it that way with the other person, with all parties involved. Because when one person is sick, both people are sick, and that's not an energetic exchange we want to keep. So for the sake of all parties involved, we want to completely cut energetic ties, completely dissolve energetic ties, get rid of them. How do we do that? That's where our little airplane friend comes in handy with steps 4 and 5. So anytime that you start thinking about this person, place, or thing, this situation, write it down in an intent step. And since you've kind of been doing that already, because I'm completely clear on that 10th and 11th step, that tells me that you actually have enough data for doing a 5th step. Like, take all your 10th step and take it to your sponsor. I am not a replacement for your sponsor, by the way. You're not working a program if you don't have a sponsor that you're working with. You can't do it on your own. You can't do it with a YouTube person. Just saying. So get on the horn once you've got that paperwork and say to your sponsor, hey, I think I need to go ahead and do a 5th step with you. And that should actually start the process of getting rid of all of that energetic ties on the physical. It's one thing to do the metaphysical energy work, but you have to back everything up with action. You have to make sure that you're doing the physical component of it as well in order to make it last. That's what creates that solid foundation. We can't be only up in the ether and we can't only be down on the ground. We have to have balance with both, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and talk about step 6. Okay, so for step 6, we've got a key. Okay? All right. We've got a cat. We've got a tree. A strawberry, and a lock. Okay, so those are, a lot of times when they may not have anything to do with the reading, it may just be confirmation on your end that this is indeed your reading. And so if any of those resonate or mean something to you, apply what fits, leave the rest. This any tarot reading you get online, since it's a general reading, not all of the information is going to be dead on accurate for you. Occasionally you'll get that from time to time, but that is more like divine intervention than anything else. We really don't want to see that because, yeah, divine intervention can be jarring. It is for your greater good and it is saving your ass, but if you're doing the thing to keep yourself recovered in sobriety, being clean, not drinking and drugging, and then following the traditions and the principles laid out with a 12-step program, then that is something that we don't really have to worry about. However, what I'm seeing with the step 6 is once we're learning what our patterns are and we can accept it, then that step 6 is going to come in handy. And I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 charms. So that could mean that you have 5 little character flaws are just little naggly things, and it's really easy to look up all of the things. Like, do you gossip? Do you overspend? Do you spend too much time scrolling on social media? Do you drink too much caffeine? Do you eat too much junk food? Those may be the things that we need to be paying attention to. So don't let the number 5 alarm you. And I don't want you to think that that means that you're just trash. Did you call yourself trash recently? Honey, you need to quit bullying yourself. Oh, gosh. If that resonates with you, if you've been bullying yourself like that, that may be part of one of the 5. We are given an opportunity here in sobriety, in turning our will and our life over to our higher power, to make some much needed changes. This is a second chance. And not all of us get it. It's a blessing. But we're not going to appreciate that blessing unless we really dive in, first and foremost, with working a program, but also to start changing our mindset and stop talking so poorly about our own self. That's the first step in learning how to love yourself, is to hush those voices in our mind, because oftentimes those voices are what are caging our inner child. And true freedom comes from being able to open up to our inner child and love it just as we would love our own children, and then learn how to be our own inner parent too. So again, there's that balance. But one thing you could do, I'm hearing, is to write down the things that you say to yourself and show a friend what your thought process is. And I think that you will truly understand exactly how much none of that is true based on your friend's reaction. So that would be one thing. If you don't have anyone to say that to, getting it out on paper, and then writing an apology letter to your inner child, and then burning it would be really good too. Okay, that's all the information they've got for that step. But that mental thought process seems to be a very key point in all of this, because what I'm seeing in my vision is a brick wall. Like, you're blocking yourself because of your thought process. Remember, we manifest what we are, not what we want, not what we desire, what we are. And if you are saying, I am stupid, I am broke, I am unhealed, I am whatever, if it is something negative, look at it and say, okay, is this valid? Because sometimes I used to be a shopaholic, and until I became cognizant of that, I couldn't make any changes, but that does not mean that it gives me the right to constantly be, you know, berating myself for my previous actions because I've made those changes. The change is going to need to be had for some of what you're saying to yourself, but a large majority of the things that we tell ourselves is totally false. So know that your higher power loves you no matter what, and that there is a lot of hope and healing, but we need to start taking those actions in order to get our mental process right. So what does that look like? That looks like working with a sponsor with the 12 steps. It looks like going to meetings and getting familiar, not just going to the meeting, but actually mingling before and after the meeting for even 10 minutes on either side. Bookend that meeting, getting to know people, because those people are going to filter through, and you're going to start building a support system, a support network of people who really truly love you, who also have the same goal that you do in being clean and sober and recovered. Okay? All right. So those are the things that I would, if you're not doing those things, if you've kind of dropped off the wagon of going to meetings, if you've not called your sponsor in a while, that this is your friendly reminder to do so. Because we really do only have one day at a time. It's a daily reprieve. But for the grace of God, I am on day 1604 as of the filming of this, since my last drink. And if I can do it, you can do it. All right. So let's go ahead and look at step 7. All right. So I have got a moon with a star. So this may be an important moon phase for you. So if you see a crescent moon with a star near it, oftentimes, like there have been times where I've thought it was a star and it's actually a planet like Venus or something. But look for this particular sign in your environment or in the sky. This may be an important moon phase, especially if you're seeing this in your environment. So I'm hearing waxing crescent. So pay attention to the next waxing crescent. Look on your calendar and find out when that's going to be next for you after watching this video, because this is a timeless reading. All right. Then I have got, a 4-leaf clover. And then we've got another heart. I know that I'm filming this on Christmas Eve, but this is giving Valentine's vibes. It's kind of nice. All right. I am hearing that whatever you have been struggling with as far as character defects, once you are looking at your patterns, you're going to find a lot of luck in the fact that your prayers, once you understand exactly what you're asking for from the universe, or whatever you're manifesting, depends on, if you're praying, if you're doing ritual, it doesn't really matter, but spirit is hearing you. The reason why it's kind of holding you back is because there is an aspect of one of these patterns that you're not seeing. And I'm hearing that it's because you're looking at it from an all bad perspective. And perhaps that character defect is not meant to be removed, because if you learn to use it in a more positive way, it can actually be an asset to you moving forward. So bear that in mind. Not everything's going to be erased. Sometimes God made you bitchy for a reason. That doesn't mean that you are entitled to take it out on other people, but from time to time, learning to be kind of a bitch is how a lot of people get what they want. So why can't you, is the question. Next, I am looking at step 8. I'm seeing an asterisk here. And I'm also seeing a sun. And an elephant. Elephant usually indicates family members for me, especially since there's that in the amends category. Like step 8 is made a list of people we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. There is a key relationship within your family that can be mended, and it's also highly recommended that you do. This is divination, and you have free will. Okay? You can do what you want, but this is the advice, okay? So if you heed that advice, it looks to be like almost like a key locks. A mechanism opens up a door for you. And so that's something that, that amends process for that particular person. I'm hearing a female family member. So you might want to go back and think, is it my sister? Is it my mother? Is it my aunt? Is it, whoever it is? And try and approach that amends with a lot of thoroughness and earnest intentions. Okay. Because we're not doing this amends process for the blessings that come in step 9. Because if you are, just rip the promises out of the book, because that defeats the point. The promises are what naturally follows when you do this, but you don't do it because you're going to get a payoff. You're doing it because you're setting things right. You're keeping your side of the street clean. Okay. So that I'm hearing that you may have tried to make an amends before, but it was coming from a place where it wasn't well received. And if you can look at that steps 5 through 7 and really identify the character defects, the things you need to work on, the patterns, and then reapproach, you'll be received in a much better way. Okay. All right. I've got an L in the 12th step portion of this. I would say that I would not be surprised if you and like if you're taking on sponsees or when you do, if there was an L, like a prominent L, like Laura or Liam, someone with an L name, and if that does happen, Spirit is saying that is for you to confirm that it's there. Okay, because like if this is your first time going through it, you maybe haven't gotten to the point where you have really good conscious contact with your higher power, and that's okay. It's a lifelong process that unfolds, and you get better and better at it the more you practice. Speaking of, shameless plug, I am doing a conscious contact class starting in January 2026. And I have a website going up, so I'm super excited about all of that. But I will go ahead and post the link once I get all of that up. But you can always email me and ask me about my classes. I'm also going to be doing sigil classes that are very, very healing artwork. And then also Mary Manifesto series, which is bringing spirituality and experiential crafts, because I can't use the term therapy, but they're crafts designed to facilitate trust between parent and child. And I have found them very highly effective, and both mom, dad, and child really enjoys having that 3 hours where it's face to face and actually doing something other than plugging into a screen or being entertained. You're actually creating something, and that creative process is really where spirit starts coming through the most, especially with kids. And so if you're in recovery, hit me up on that too, and I can get you information on when and where that's going to be. Let's go ahead and move to tarot before I close up, because we have one last message I'm hearing. All right. Spirit, what message do you have for us? Oh. Oh. Okay. I can't make this stuff up. You saw me shuffle, you saw me pull them. They're reminding me that I forgot to tell you about the fact that I'm teaching a manifestation class too. That is hysterical. And the beautiful thing is, and you look at this, that's what Mary Manifesto is really about, is teaching children how to manifest ethically and with integrity. And so you see the children down here. I wanted to kind of go back. I wanted to go back to this dragonfly because it says the truth transcends illusion. Okay. So this is very, very much talking about 5 through 7. Okay. Because we're looking at the truth of ourselves, because that's the only truth that we can do anything about. And then believing in yourself. You can do this. You really, really can. Just take it 1 minute at a time if you need to. Okay. Let me split the deck. Oh. And if no one's told you today, know that Spirit and I love you. Take care.